Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlings, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
At Gala Chevrolet, our master technicians service every make and model no matter where you purchase your vehicle. But that's not all. We also provide certified service on every GM model. So if your car's been acting a little funny lately or something just doesn't seem right, don't wait. Bring it in to the most modern service facility in the entire state and let us make sure that you're driving a vehicle you and your family can depend on. Service done right the first time, every time, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
Ah!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
Hey, welcome to 2019 here on Red Menace TV. It's been a while, Mike.
It has been a while.
I mean, we had snow days, holidays, all kinds of nonsense going on all the end of the year.
Yeah.
Who would have expected that we would have had 6 inches of snow or 5 inches of snow on the day after New Year's Day?
It happens.
It does?
It did.
Every 10 years it happens in New Mexico. Well, I guess global warming forgot 2019.
It's not global warming.
Oh, what is it now?
No, it's, I forget the name of the word.
Climate change.
Climate
right?
change,
That's
yeah.
the new religion?
Yes.
Okay.
The
great.
new religion, yes.
So it's no longer global warming, it's now climate change, which means that it changes to winter instead of summer? You mean like a regular season?
No, it means you have more extremes. Extreme
more
heat in
extremes.
summer, extreme cold in the winter.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's cold today. It's pretty cold.
There you go.
How do you handle it being from North Carolina and it being this cold?
It will be cold there.
Oh, is it cold there too?
It's not Hawaii.
Does it get snowy in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Well, where do you think North Carolina is located?
I have
do you
no
think
idea.
it's an island off the coast of?
It's back east, that's all I know.
No.
It's down in the south, isn't it?
Well, it gets cold there.
It gets cold in the
Yeah.
south? Don't you guys have like oranges and all that nonsense? No?
That's Florida.
What do you guys have in North Carolina other than
Tobacco, cotton.
Yeah, okay. Tobacco, cotton, and basketball.
Yeah, pretty much.
Duke and North Carolina.
Yeah.
And you're a Duke guy, right?
I am.
Why did you end up a Duke guy and not a North Carolina State guy? Just asking. I have no idea.
Because I'm smarter than most people from North Carolina.
That's why?
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, is it like a regional thing, or is it like, can you be in like one part of the state and opposed from the Duke area and still like Duke, or is that allowed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's allowed.
Okay. So it's not like if you lived in Las Cruces, you have to like the Aggies, though nobody really likes the Aggies, I'm just saying. No, it's not like that. Okay, great. Hey, some of the things that we need to talk about. Lobo basketball has trudged on.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, it kind of reminded me of, you know how you watch those medical shows and it's like beep, 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 and then it flatlines a little bit, and then all of a sudden you get that big jump when they beat Nevada, and then it's back to flatline again as they lose to UNLV.
I don't think that's quite the way it works.
Not quite flatlining?
But I understand your point.
Yeah. Do you have a different analogy you want to use on that?
look, they are what they are, and there's going to be.
Oh,
ups.
you want to go Denny Green?
Well, no, but there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. You know, look, as great as the win was Saturday against Nevada, and it was a huge win, the pit was rocking, this team still has its issues. On nights when they're not all hitting their shots, there's going to be problem scoring. I think you saw that in the UNLV game. The Jaquan Lyle injury continues to rear its head because you don't have a true point guard, not one that Paul Weir trusts. You know, Keith McGee didn't play at all in the UNLV game. Drew Drennan only played 6 or 7 minutes. So you have Mathis on the point. That takes away a little bit what Mathis can do shooting-wise. At some point in time, he's going to have to trust Drennan and McGee and give them more minutes on the point. You're going to continue to have these problems.
It's such a hard thing, and I'm gonna transition that kind of like football, like a point guard to a quarterback. I mean, we saw Bob Davie, we've seen Rocky Long, we've seen Mike Loxley, we've seen all coaches. I don't care what league or what. I mean, if the coach doesn't trust your quarterback, he's not going to play. He could be great, but he's not going to play if the coach can't trust him. I think Paul Weir feels the same way about his point guards. He's got 2 young guys that he doesn't quite trust completely yet in crunch time. He does trust Mathis, which is not bad, but the thing is Mathis is not able to deliver as a true point guard. He can shoot, but...
Well, it's not that he can't deliver as a true point guard per se, but it takes away what you really need him for, and that's shooting. Now, he was able to have a good night against Nevada, no doubt about that, but game in and game out, it's hard to be a facilitator, move the ball around, and still be aggressive with your shot. And, you know, and also to get open for your shot when you're controlling the ball. So, you know, for those reasons, at some point in time, you've got to trust Drennan, you've got to trust Keith McGee. Otherwise, you're going to continue to have these issues.
And so I want to go back a little bit before the Nevada game, because obviously the Lobos were... They lost some tough ones in the pit. And who can recall a time when the Lobos lose so many games in the pit? It used to be the pit was like, we're going to win every game here, at least 80%, almost all the time. And it just seems like they're giving up games like nobody's business these days. But obviously, Coach Weir had kind of a epiphany, if you will, and decided to switch from that pressing defense to go to this oddball zone that they're playing.
The oddball zone.
Yeah, I mean, I hear people keeps trying to label it the 2-3 or they'll even call it a 3-2. I think before the show you mentioned sometimes they play a box and one, and all I see 4 guys standing around the perimeter and the big man down low. And there's a huge void in between the perimeter and the big man under the basket, and teams really have picked that apart. I mean, that zone. I think that zone's terrible. I don't think it's been good. I think it's a terrible zone. Obviously, they were able to defeat Nevada with it somewhat. Well, but, you know.
Somewhat, yes. They destroyed Nevada.
Yeah, but how much of that was Nevada just missing shots? And then here's the other thing. Marvin Menzies and all these other coaches that play, they watch film.
Sure.
They're going to see, oh, that zone's terrible. Here's how we're going to exploit it. And that's exactly what they did.
I don't think the zone's terrible. It's a little unorthodox. It's certainly, you know, they call it a 2-3. I don't think they're always in a 2-3. Like you mentioned, they're out on the perimeter. Sometimes it looks like more of a matchup zone. Sometimes it looks like a 3-2. Sometimes it looks like a 2-1-2. I know.
It looks like a mess is what it looks like.
Well, I think it's designed to look like that. I don't think they're just out there running around not knowing what they're doing. I think it's at times more of a matchup that there's certain, you're in a zone, but there's certain guys that you want certain people on. So you kind of adapt that way a little bit. Look, nobody was complaining after the Air Force game and after the Nevada game.
Oh, it's kind of interesting because the way you mentioned that, because it was reported that, you know, they hadn't worked on the zone all year long.
Right. You know, but Paul Weir.
So they're still trying to learn that as well. So I totally get that. That's like switching offense or defense in the middle of the year. That's like totally brutal.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get all this done. I don't think it looks that good. And I think now that, you know, UNLV basically showed how to beat it, I think everyone else will try to follow suit using that.
Well, I don't know that UNLV showed how to beat it per se, but UNLV exploited what the problem's been for the Lobos this year and will continue to be. And that part of that is short guards will kill you. Short, fast guards will kill you. And they were still able to penetrate at times and run around and cause the Lobos fits. And again, you get back to the lack of a point guard. everybody was disappointed when Jaquan Lyle went down, but
course.
before the season started, I don't think people realized quite the impact it was going to have, because now you've got, 2 young guys that you're either depending on, or it forces Mathis to play the point, and Weir shows in the route these last few games of it's going to be Mathis, and at times it works out well, but at times it really hampers what Mathis can do offensively.
I just want to go back once again to the Air Force about that zone, because I want to stay on that as well as what you're saying. But I can't remember the kid's name from Air Force that had like 20 shots wide open. I think he hit like 5. I mean, he was wide open too. He just didn't hit his shots. That zone is not working.
Well, no, that was by design.
It was by design that he's going to miss.
Well,
wide open shots.
Yes, right. They were going to make him make those shots. They didn't want to give up the backdoor plays.
Yeah, well, he just didn't hit him. He was hitting him early, and then he stopped, and I don't know. Anyways, you're right about the point guard. I totally agree with you on that. I thought last night we were going to see Carlton Bragg really go off. I mean, he started, and I mean, he was dominant in the first half. And in the second half, they seemed to get away from him, which is too bad. I mean, he was out on the perimeter, where I hate seeing big men on the perimeter. But he was out on the perimeter. He even took a 3-point shot, I think, if I'm not mistaken, when he was just devastating down low, especially after UNLV's big guy fouled out. I thought for sure they were going to pound it down low to him again and really allow him to take advantage of his height and strength and that body that he has. But it seemed like as soon as the UNLV big man went out, they stopped going to him almost the entire time.
Well, no, the second half, I thought UNLV did a really good job of making changes at halftime.
Sure.
To, combat what Carlton Bragg was doing down low in the first half. And you talk about how good of a first half he had. He got into early foul trouble. Otherwise, he may have had a monster first half. But I think you got to give some of the credit to UNLV there for the changes they made at halftime, because they made it a lot harder for the Lobos to get the ball down inside in the second half. And I think you saw the Lobos settling for a lot of jumpers.
And I think Manigault, they're going to keep working with him. You could tell the guy has talent. I mean, he's a great penetrator when down low. You get him a little mid-range post up, he can put the ball on the ground, and he does well. I think they need to work with him on his angles and penetration, though, because it seems like he's always under the basket or always fading away from the hoop when he finally brings his shot up. He's strong, he's fast. I think he could be dominating down low as well. It's just a matter of trying to find those angles.
Well, yeah, look, this whole team is a work in progress. But as far as that goes, he was 4 of 6. So, I mean, it's not
right.
like he missed a bunch of shots. But, yeah, sure. I mean, you can find things with all these guys that they need to work on. Sure.
I did want to talk to you a little bit about, there was an article in the Albuquerque Journal by Jeff Grammer the other day talking about Paul Weir. And I can't recall a coach really talking about, like, the stress and the angst that he had after the prior, even after the Nevada game and everything else. Interesting. What did you think about that article or Paul Weir's thoughts of letting that out? Usually coaches aren't.
Yeah, I don't think what he's gone through is any different than what most coaches go through.
Except he talked about it.
Except he was willing to talk about it. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, interesting. I mean, because I think fans, it's funny because Twitter Saturday night was exploding about, oh, we're here, we've arrived, we're there, we're this, we're that. And then this week is like, oh, we suck again. You know, I mean, it's just like, wow. It's like, I think UNM somewhere's in the middle of being as good as beating Nevada and being not so good as losing to Penn and UNLV.
Well, and this is something Paul Weir's talked about for a while now, but I think it's very true. The Lobos' biggest issue isn't their opponent, it's going to be them. That they've got to continue to work on them. When you play well, you see things like what happened on Saturday night against Nevada. I didn't think they played bad last night, especially the first half that they played really well. Look, sometimes you got to credit the other team as well.
Sure.
And I thought UNLV made the necessary changes at halftime and came out in the second half and was a much different team and really exploited UNM on some things. But yeah, when things are going well, you're going to see results like the Nevada game, and when it's not, it's going to be a struggle.
Well, it's kind of funny because everyone thinks, and I don't know, maybe because he was a New Mexico State coach or whatever, but everyone thinks Marvin Menzies is a bad coach. He's actually a pretty good coach. No, you don't think so?
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Well, I think he's a good coach. Obviously, he makes adjustments. He watches films. He's a great recruiter. He did pretty well at New Mexico State. He's doing okay at UNLV. Though it's kind of funny. Gosh, I can't believe it's been so long we didn't even get a chance to talk about this.
Hold on. First of all, he's not doing that well at UNLV. Now, he beat the Lobos.
Yeah.
But they want him out so bad they can't stand it.
Well, he's 3-0 in conference now. It's got to be doing something right.
They still want him out.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but
look, there
hold
was
on.
Lobo fans that wanted Weir out prior to the Nevada game. I mean,
Well, no,
I'm not going
hold on. He's 3-0 in conference, but he's beaten Colorado State, Wyoming, and the Lobos.
I mean, you can only play who's ahead of you. The Lobos have beaten Air Force, Nevada. Well, that's a good victory.
Yeah.
And then, of course, losing to UNLV. So, I mean, and let's not forget that road game was a road game for UNLV, beating the Lobos in the pit. That's not a bad thing.
Yes, he did exactly what North Texas and Penn did this year. Let's crown him.
I'm not crowning anybody. I'm just saying because, and this was going to be the segue because I was, before you stopped me in there, before you stepped onto my segue.
I didn't mean to get on your segue.
Prior to the conference starting, yeah, segues they only handle so much,
Right.
Prior to the conference, there was a lot of talk about. What do you call him? Saint Stephen Alford, patron saint of Lobo victories, possibly taking over?
No, there wasn't. There was dummies like you who would bring it up.
I'm just saying it was on Twitter, not me.
Oh, because
taking over at UNLV.
Right, because it was on Twitter.
And Patino. I should throw that in there as well.
Yeah, no.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think that's going to happen?
No.
I mean, we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but Steve Alford was let go at UCLA.
And he's crying all the way to the bank.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I realize you're giddy that he was let go, but it was
I just think it's interesting.
It still was a very good move for him, but financially.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, he wasn't hurting when he left here. I mean, you made $1 million to split. I mean, it don't matter. I mean, shoot, Craig Neal's doing all right now. He got $1 million to leave too. I mean, if you can get fired from UNM or I guess fired, you're in great shape.
Look, with all due respect, there's UNM money and there's UCLA money, and the two aren't in the same league.
Yeah, because you couldn't handle having $1 million.
Oh, well, that's fine.
I mean, I'm just saying.
But Offer's getting much more than that.
Oh, I know.
He's got his $4 million buyout. He's still getting paid for the rest of the year. Look, you can snicker
and he will get another job.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know where. Where do you?
We'll have to see what openings are. He won't have problems getting another job.
Yeah, I wonder if he has to give up some of that money to take the job right away.
No, he does not.
Oh, so he could just jump in right away and he'll double dip.
Yep.
Is he still getting paid by UNM? Could he be triple dipping?
No. Why would he be getting paid by UNM?
Who knows? I mean, it seems at this point UNM's paying everybody that are gone for 2 or 3 years or 4 years. At this point, aren't they?
He's been gone like 6 years, dude.
Has it been 6 years? Let me see. You had 2 years of Neal or 3 years of
You had for like 4 years of Neal.
And was there 4? No, there wasn't 4.
Yeah, I think there was 4.
No,
3 or 4.
3.
Okay, well, then he's been gone for 5 years.
3 and 2. Yeah, I'm just saying, shocking that UNM would be paying someone out that far. I mean, at this point, is there anything that would shock you?
But they didn't fire him. He left on his own.
Right.
You don't pay someone when they leave on their own, Leroy. I don't know how it works where you work.
I don't work.
Well, and that's why you're ignorant on the subject. I understand that. But that's not the way it works. When people willingly leave on their own. Now, sometimes you pay people to go away, but when they willingly leave on their own for a better job, you don't give them money on the way out the door.
So I saw a resident UCLA fan here at Proview Network, Sebastian Noel, at a basketball game the other day, and he was just like, I'm glad. He goes, they should have never gotten rid of Ben Howland. I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, you get to the
you
final.
can make that argument.
You get to the Final Four a few years, you probably should be able to hang around for a little bit. What would happen if someone got to the Final Four here?
They'd build a statue.
Yeah, they rename the pit.
They'd rename the pit. There'd be a big statue outside.
They'd kick St. Steve Alford off his pedestal and elevate this person, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So is Paul Weir that guy?
You know what? You don't have to get to the Final Four. Just get to the Sweet 16.
At this point, just get into the NCAA tournament. It seems like it's been that long, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a few years, hasn't it?
Real quick, and then we're going to take a quick break and turn things over to Micah. Mm-hmm. How was your trip to Las Vegas, Los Angeles?
Hell.
Hell? Why? What was?
Well, thank you UFC for on 6 days' notice moving the fight from the UFC card from Vegas to LA. I kept my Vegas reservations because it was too much of a pain to cancel them, and I didn't want to eat the money. I actually wound up adding a day to my Vegas stay,
nice.
And just drove out from Vegas to LA for the fight.
That's like a 4-hour drive, isn't it?
Yeah, but you got to come back another 4 hours after midnight.
Yeah. You could have stayed the night there.
You ever been to Inglewood?
Yeah, I've been through there.
Yeah, through there.
I mean, guess what? I mean,
You ever settled in for the night
I'm
there?
just saying, Los Angeles is kind of a big area with a lot of different hotels. You don't have to stay in Inglewood. You could move out of there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you could have stopped anywhere. Or isn't there is there the State Line Casino there on the border of Las Vegas or Nevada and
There's a lot of casinos.
in California? Yeah, I'm just saying. Where'd you stay?
Stratosphere.
Stratosphere. Okay, cool. Did you get on the tower and do that thing or no?
I got on the tower. Yeah, I didn't ride any of those dumb rides. Yeah, hanging off the side of the Stratosphere. No.
You don't like that idea?
No, that doesn't make good sense.
No, I agree with you. There's gravity for a reason. So
Right, exactly.
I'm totally with you. I wouldn't do that either.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the fight and everything else? Everything, and I know we're stepping on Micah's
Yeah,
frontier here, but
but
I know you like the fights.
Yeah, wasn't surprised John Jones won. Well, wasn't surprised at all. Wasn't that surprised that Amanda Nunes beat Cyborg. I was very surprised in the manner in which she did it.
Yeah, that was complete domination.
Yeah,
is
for
what
sure.
That was.
Yeah, quick and easy. Of course, again, hindsight's 2020. You look at what she did to Rousey. You look at what she did to Amisha Tate. Nunes did when she won the title. Maybe it shouldn't be that surprising.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, we actually watch it. I don't do as much UFC as you, and definitely not as much as Micah. But we ended up going to a friend's house and we were watching it, and I was settling in to see that this fight was going to go for a little bit, and it just like boom, done, like that, like almost like you didn't even have a chance to eat your queso.
You should have eaten your queso faster.
I know. Well, I ate some of that for the other fights too.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Too, so it was good. It was good queso. Anyways, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll come back with CageMinds.com and Micah Frankel. And I'm sure he'll have more about these fights and whatever else is going on. Although it's been a while.
He's probably talked about these. While we've been off, he's actually been coming in and working.
Well, yeah, I know. And I hear him on your show every
He's been working
week.
here on your show when you're not here.
I know. That's true,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
that's true.
yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Hey, guess what? School starts next week. We'll be back right after this.
Just barely, and Isles will step into a deep three. And Steve, we've talked. And Caxioli changes mind midair.
Bruce's, they've made Volcano execute in the half court. Strong. Hands of Terry. Josh gonna bounce it beautifully ahead. Here comes Barton in transition. He's got Lumbers to Flores underneath for the lay-in off the win.
Got to be very careful because he has 4 fouls. And Ramos is just taking over tonight.
On the near side, it's Ramos. Ramos, a nice handoff on the.
No. The long rebound, and Hill, the freshman, tapped it to himself. In transition to Aragon, and he slams it home. See if he wants to dunk in transition. Send it in. Terry, good look at a 3 for Josh. No! Oh, what a putback!
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
This is Coach Borrego of the Charlotte Hornets. Hello to all you parents out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I want to congratulate 38 years for the AYBL. You guys are doing a great job. You've shaped a lot of lives, young men and women, and you'll continue to do that. Parents, get involved, sign your kid up. It's a great program. It helped shape who I am today, helped shape me as a basketball player, as a coach. So get out there, sign them up. Have a great season. Good luck to everybody.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
At Gala Chevrolet, our master technicians service every make and model no matter where you purchase your vehicle. But that's not all. We also provide certified service on every GM model. So if your car's been acting a little funny lately or something just doesn't seem right, don't wait. Bring it in to the most modern service facility in the entire state and let us make sure that you're driving a vehicle you and your family can depend on. Service done right the first time, every time, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
Welcome to the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. This is Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel, and we have a huge year of combat sports ahead of us in New Mexico. A lot of big promotions and big fights planned. The year gets kicked off with LFA on January 25th at the Route 66 Casino. And then the very next night, we have our first New Mexico boxing event of the year as Holmes Boxing back at Buffalo Thunder as a tradition. It's the 5th year in a row, Cold War in January. And we have the first fight and the main event joining us right now, Jordan OMG Garcia and the Atrisco kid, Fidel Maldonado Jr., both here with us now. Guys, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
And sorry, guys, boxers. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
So first off, let's start with Fidel because you're in the main event. The spotlight's a little bit on you, of course. 14 months, it's been a while since we've seen you. What's been going on?
Just honestly took a break, kind of. I was still training, but no really sparring, just rest up. I never really took a break in boxing, so I got to rest up, and I changed my diet around, and I feel better than ever.
What was that like, stepping away from the sport for a little bit?
Honestly, I was anxious to get back, but at the same time, I knew I had to let my body recover, because all the fights, all the sparrings, everything. When I was young, I sparred almost every day, and it wasn't just 3-4 rounds. I was sparring everyone in the gym, so my body's just rested up, and you're gonna see the best of me from here on out.
You said anxious, and that almost wants me to go over to Jordan. How anxious are you for this one? It's a rematch. First fight of the night, you're kicking off the card. You're on this card. So tell us about it.
I'm ready. You know, last time a little things happened. I hurt my hand, but this fight's going to be different. I haven't fought since last year, so this time I'm anxious. I'm ready. I'm in shape, you know, just ready to go in there and get that win this time.
Now, Fidel, you mentioned a change in diet. Go into that a little bit.
I went like plant-based vegan, so I changed my whole diet around, and it wasn't just because of boxing. It was more because I like to study a lot of stuff, which you know.
Right.
And so I had been studying the diet for about 2 years before. I tried it the first time when I fought Kano, and then after that we didn't really do it, and I took a loss.
Okay,
Not saying that's the reason, but I felt way better doing that, and just more research. I kept saying, oh, I gotta change my diet, and I finally did it, and I feel better than ever, honestly.
Well, what was what element had you go back from it? That you had success with it. Why did you change for that other fight?
Just, I guess, the love of meat, kind of. Just, I liked eating it, so, but now I'm used to it without it, and I don't crave it, nothing, so honestly, I feel better than ever. I'm more energized, I have like more stamina and everything, so I'm gonna be ready. There ain't gonna be no excuses.
And along that same line, Jordan, I remember after your last fight last time, and talked to you and your dad in the gym, talking about taking that strength conditioning kind of diet, all that aspect outside of just what you do in the gym. That was the biggest goal for you guys that you wanted to work on moving forward. So what's that been like for you now?
So I kind of follow what Fidel is doing. I cut out all meat. I'm not eating no meat, and like he said, it does make you a lot more energized. As my strength and conditioning, I was going to Jackson Winks, and we were doing a lot of reps and, you know, getting that strength in. The last few weeks I haven't been going, just so we can relax my body and, you know, just work on the weight loss and just focused on more of the fight. But I've been running, been hitting the track more. We've been doing a lot of sprints and just a lot more miles and running.
What did you learn last January? You're heading into a rematch, and I'm sure you've seen rematches before. You had a lengthy amateur run. So what did you see in that first fight that's going to lead to success in this next one?
Definitely to block out anything that happens before the fight. I've trained myself to just focus on the fight, and whatever happens, happens, and you just got to let it go. Also, you know, just the way she fights, we've kind of just been working on that, and just a lot of more power shots, a lot more staying on the outside, and just, you know, focused on what happened last time to change.
Was there any surprises in that first fight, how she came out, how it played out?
Yes, so we weren't expecting her to come out as hard as she did. And she came out tough. There was a little bit of sayings that she thought she was going to beat me, but she didn't. I mean, it was a draw, but this time it's going to be different.
Now, Fidel, with your opponent, Luis, he's been here at Buffalo Thunder before. He's been the underdog. He shocked that crowd when he beat Tone. What do you do against this guy? How do you make him uncomfortable?
Honestly, I can't really say because I didn't really watch the fight. Because we're too busy with Matt, because Matt Grego, the Diamond Boy, fought in that card. He's my teammate. He fought, so we're with him, just telling him congratulations and stuff. And I watched maybe like the first round and a half, 2 rounds, and it wasn't actually focused on the fight. so I couldn't tell you how he did or what he did. So, but you know what? I've been working with just real hard for anything. So I'm gonna be ready for it. I've had over 100 amateur fights, so I've seen everything.
What has been the biggest focus for you in this training camp?
Just breaking it down, because I train twice a day. I train in the morning with Manuel and I train at night with my dad and Manuel. So it's just breaking it apart where I'm not wasted throughout the day, and I still cut hair. So I got busy days, I got all that, and then I got to go with my family.
I saw a post from you, I think it was maybe a month ago on Facebook, where it kind of said that you were returning to make another run. Was that just you announcing your presence back on the scene because you had taken that time off?
Kind of, but to me this is not really my last chance, but to me in my head, I can't lose now because this is my last chance to go get that big belt. So to me, it's all or nothing, every fight.
You are coming off of a loss, and I heard you say in another interview that you felt like you're starting at the bottom again. So is this a rebuilding kind of stage for you?
This fight, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't look past this guy. He upset someone here already, so can't overlook him. And after him, we'll worry about what's next when that comes. But until after the 26th, this guy is my main priority.
I know you went in, Jordan, to the first fight, confidence with Karina. You hit that roadblock, that speed bump right there with it being a draw. I know that wasn't in the plans. How do you capitalize on this rematch and make that statement to go on with what you had planned last year?
You know, I just have to look past it. You have to look past the draws. You can't dwell over a loss. You can't dwell over the draws. You just have to tell yourself you're going to come back stronger, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back stronger. I'm going to get this win, and after that, we'll just see what the rest of the year comes.
Now, also, as a teammate, what did it do for you seeing the success of Jason Sanchez? He came back with that WBO title. You're somebody that works out in the same gym with him close by him. What did that do for you?
You know, that's a motivation. That's one of the biggest motivations, is to know that someone who basically was an underdog went out there and he came back with the title. And that just helps me to know that it's possible. And no matter where you're from, where you come from, you can make it big.
Has there been any specific motto for you for this camp?
Not necessarily a motto. It's just more that I want this more than ever.
I know that you're also very busy with dentistry, and I think from the last time that we had you on, you've since graduated, right?
Correct.
So how much of an accomplishment also was that, and just a positive force for you to keep going with everything?
You know, it was so positive. I graduated college at 20, and now I'm working at Holtzman Orthodontics, which is a very popular orthodontics. And you know, I'm working from 7 to 6:30 at night, and then I'm going to the gym right after. So I have long days, but I push through it and I get through it, and I just feel so accomplished because I can do it and I haven't given up.
Now, Fidel, much along the same lines, you mentioned that you go to the gym, you go to the barbershop right here, Classic Barbershop. How much, though, is that nice to get away from training, to get away during the day and just have that time where your brain's concentrating on something else, because you should be concentrating on the hair you're cutting, right?
Oh yeah, honestly, it's good, and it also helps me because, well, everyone knows me from back in the day. I didn't really talk. You know, I was always quiet. And this has made me be able to talk to people. It made me, hey, I got to talk to these people. And I always bring up boxing and other sports and stuff, so it helps get my name out there also. My days are long, though, just like hers. I got to wake up, take the kids, get the kids ready, take them to school, go to the gym. After that, go home, take a shower, go to the shop, then go to the gym again, come home, spend time with the kids, get them ready for bed. Then same thing the next day.
So busy, hectic days. Both of you, it's just the beginning of the year. We're here at January. Any goals or resolutions for 2019? Each one of you.
Yeah, my goal is to fight for a title this year. We're shooting for August, September for a title shot. So right now that's just the goal, and just to continue building up my record.
Fidel?
You know, honestly, I just take it day by day. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
We know what's going to happen January 26th. You're going to have a great night of boxing up at Buffalo Thunder. Again, January 25th, we got MMA at Route 66 Casino. And in just a minute, we're going to have more Red Menace TV.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that could happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car crafters, it's like it never happened.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
This is Coach Borrego of the Charlotte Hornets. Hello to all you parents out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I want to congratulate 38 years for the AYBL. You guys are doing a great job. You've shaped a lot of lives, young men and women, and you'll continue to do that. Parents, get involved, sign your kid up. It's a great program. It helped shape who I am today, helped shape me as a basketball player, as a coach. So get out there, sign them up. Have a great season. Good luck to everybody.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
At Gala Chevrolet, our master technicians service every make and model no matter where you purchase your vehicle. But that's not all. We also provide certified service on every GM model. So if your car's been acting a little funny lately or something just doesn't seem right, don't wait. Bring it into the most modern service facility in the entire state and let us make sure that you're driving a vehicle you and your family can depend on. Service done right the first time, every time, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks. Michael.
Leroy.
Yeah. I don't even know what to talk about today. What do you want to talk about?
Well, hold on. You had one of the all-time great Lobo wins in the pit on Saturday night. Sure. Now, you also had the Lobos lose to UNLV.
Well, we talked about that
right.
for a full segment.
Right. The NFL playoffs are going on. Lobo baseball will be starting up soon. There may be a new offensive coordinator for Lobo football. How can you not know what to talk about?
That's good. That's what I want to talk about. So 610, is it 6? Did you guys report at the Sports Animal? Who broke the news?
Oh, a fan site for Ole Miss football, I believe.
Okay. So I know I only saw it because I saw it posted that you guys had it. So that's why I gave you credit for that. Shocking? Not shocking? McGee would leave. Offensive coordinator splits after 1 year. A coordinator that you basically switched your entire offense over because they got rid of.
That's actually not true. That's revisionist history.
Okay. Fake news.
Fake news.
Okay.
The offense changed before they ever brought him in.
That's true.
Because he was a late addition because of the circumstances with Rich Rod getting fired at Arizona. Yeah, he was a late addition. The decision had already been made to change the offense.
Which was a bad decision, don't you think?
Year one did not go well. How about that?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a very positive spin to put it.
Now there were other things going on. You had injuries and stuff like that. But yeah, year one didn't go well. I think that's more than fair to say.
Funny.
What?
No, it's just funny the way you put that. It's like that's a very good positive spin on that. That's nice.
Well, it's true.
And I think that's a lot of people are really reaching to put positive spins on Lobo football at this point. Would you say that? Yeah.
No, not really, but okay.
I'll say it. I can't put a positive spin on Lobo.
Well, no, you quit on Lobo football.
I did.
I don't know why you're saying matters
I didn't
at all.
quit on Lobo football. I quit on Bob Davie. There's a big difference there.
No, did you continue to go to the games last year?
No.
So you quit on Lobo football?
Yeah, that's fine. You can say whatever you want. I watch them on TV. You go. I don't know if they can get a close-up of me with my eyes crossed or not.
Here, we can make that work.
Here.
Oh, Lord.
There we go. Better? Helps? Okay. Anyways, so he leaves. If he leaves, obviously recruiting season, the first part of recruiting season, I think they filled their entire load at that point, didn't they? Or did they
No, they
kept a few.
Yeah, they still have a few.
They kept a few, a couple decent players. They did pick up another quarterback. Picked up a couple of big offensive linemen. Again, you want me?
Jeez.
Is that better? Is that what you wanted?
That is the freakiest thing I've ever seen.
Did you see? I mean, Alden's there working the camera. He's like going, Leroy, do it again.
Yeah.
Leroy, do it again. It's like I'm hearing voices or something. It's like, what, am I getting schizophrenic?
Can you do it again, please?
It's like, okay, brother, I'm there. All right, I have to work on my crossed eyes, but they got to look at my beautiful.
You know what? You should spend as much time as possible working on crossing your eyes.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's great. Don't you remember when you were a kid? If you did that, your parents would say, "Don't do that because your eyes will stay like that."
Yeah.
I mean, at least I'm old enough to remember my parents would say that. It's an old wives' tale, but still. Anyway, Lobo football. So they had the first recruiting season. Looking at the way they've done that now, the NCAA tournament, I think the NCAA football, I think that's good. I think that bodes well for schools like UNM, mid-major schools. The reason being, what would happen before is these players would commit, verbally commit. Obviously, that's non-binding. And then the other schools, the P5 schools or BCS schools at the time, what would happen was they would wait as soon as their first, second, or maybe third dude bailed out on them, then they'd pluck whoever UNM had, and it really messed with a lot of the smaller schools or non-P5 schools. I think this really helps. This could help schools that aren't part of the big conferences. What do you think about that?
No, well, I think it helps everybody, but sure, it certainly helped UNM. UNM was able to go out right after the season and address a lot of needs. A lot of those players they're bringing in are JUCO players. Point being, theoretically, they should be able to step in right away and fill needs. So, yeah, you're able to get a jump on next year. Most all the ones who signed in the early signing period will be here in the spring, which gets, Bob Davey and company a little more time to work with them and acclimate them to, the UNM way of doing things. So, yeah, I think it's good.
You think they keep the same offense that they had?
Yeah.
Last year, they're going to keep that same offense and same defense?
Yeah.
Wonders. That'll be great. That'll be spectacular. See, you can't even put a positive spin on it.
I'm just disappointed in you, dude.
If you could be all the disappointment.
You
want to talk about disappointment? Going into the stands, being one of the, what did they say, 8,000 now that were there? What was the season?
It's roomy. You got plenty of room. I don't know what you're complaining about.
It was roomy, all right. You could lay down, you could relax, sit there. If I still drank beer, I could drink a beer in the stands. Right. I could go to sleep, which I did a couple of times. You, as Leroy Lucero, former face painting fan,
yes. How does it adversely affect you that there are less people in the stands? It doesn't.
No, it's fine. I'm just one of the less people that's in the stands right now.
Well, yeah.
Things will change, though. I think there's a positive. I still think they're playing out the string next year. You said no, but I think yes.
No. Look, Lobo football may or may not be any better next year, but they're not just playing it out because you're wasting time, you're wasting effort, you're wasting money. No one with half a brain would ever do that.
I said that when they were talking about should they terminate him or not. You're either going to terminate him or you're going to play out the string. So that way it gets less buyout.
Why do you ignore the other option? They'd like to try to get better next year. They're not just playing out a string. They want to be better next year.
Oh, I know they want to. Want in one hand and what else in the other and see which fills up faster. Speaking of that, we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back and talk about NFL playoffs.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to Red Menace TV. Hey, NFL playoffs are going on, Michael. Pretty exciting, or you don't really care?
No, I'm good.
I mean, would you have been more excited if the Redskins had limped into the playoffs, or no?
No, God, no.
No?
No, it was good that they were just put out of their misery.
Like an old horse taken out?
Old Yeller.
Old. Nice. So who do you got winning the whole thing? Or who do you have in the Super Bowl?
The Patriots and the Eagles.
Really? The Eagles and the Patriots, a rematch, huh?
Dude, I'm riding high on the Eagles.
Really?
Nick Foles, man. It's magic.
I'll tell you what. It was interesting watching that game, and I mean, it was like they bored you to death, and then all of a sudden they just turned it on. Both teams kind of turned it on there at the end offensively. I don't think the Eagles have the same defense that they had last year that they're going to be able to get past the Saints. I think the Saints are going to destroy them.
We'll see.
But you're right. Foles is crazy. I mean, it's kind of like almost an Eli Manning-esque sort of thing where he just gets hot in the playoffs. And though Manning has had a good year, or a good career, but he's really hot. Foles is, and it seems like they like him better. I mean, you have to wonder. I mean, if you're the Eagles or Wentz, you're sitting there watching this other dude basically lead your team to playoff victory after playoff victory and a Super Bowl victory, and you're like, every time I play, they don't play that well for me. What's going on? Though they did play well last year.
If I'm the Eagles and somehow Foles takes them back to the Super Bowl, there's no way Carson Wentz is my quarterback of the future.
So what do? Trade him?
Yeah.
Now
they're not going to do that.
No, of course not. 'Cause how old's Foles now? He's been around for a while.
He's only 29.
Is he really?
Yeah. So
it seems like he's been around forever.
Right. Yeah. He's not that much older. I think he's 4 or 5 years older than Wentz. So, but I mean, he's still fairly young.
But I mean,
29.
he never did anything in the regular season before. I mean, he was an adequate quarterback. He wasn't great or anything.
He was in some crappy places, though.
Well, that's true. He's still in a crappy place. Philadelphia as a whole.
Yeah, but they're good.
They're okay. They didn't win.
They're the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, they're going to lose this week, though.
Well, they may.
I do.
Do you know who else is losing this weekend?
Huh?
Do you know who else is losing this weekend? Your beloved Dallas Cowboys.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I tend to agree with you because I don't want to be like that guy. I don't want to get my hopes up. But, man, their defense is really good. Their defense will keep them in the game. Their offense is really sketchy at best. But that defense is good enough that I think they could play with the Rams defensively. Offensively, I'm not so sure. So I could see that. Super Bowl, I do like your Patriots pick. I do not like I mean, I know everyone's hung up on Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and they've had a great regular season. But Andy Reid's still their coach, and he always finds a way to choke.
Exactly. See, there are things you can count on in life.
Yeah.
You never bet against Belichick and Brady in the playoffs.
Right.
And it doesn't mean they're going to get there, but you just don't bet against them.
Right.
And somehow or another, by hook or crook, Andy Reid's going to screw up a good thing in the playoffs.
Yeah, I feel the same thing. And I remember, oh gosh, early in the season, I tweeted your cohort there on the radio, Trujillo. I said, because they're calling Mahomes Magic Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I go, but you still have the curse on the sidelines, and that's going to destroy everything. I don't. Let's see, they play Indianapolis.
They play the
week,
Colts,
right?
yeah.
I don't know if the Colts can beat them though. Do you think?
They can. I don't know that they are. I'm not big on the Colts.
I'm not either. I mean, defensively, they're offensively, they're
But they look good against the Texans.
They did, but the Texans were kind of up and down. I mean, they had that hot streak. And then
The Texans were the division champion.
I know, but they had, like I said, they had that hot. If you remember, they started off bad, then they beat the Cowboys and rode that hot streak for, I think it was like 8 or 9 weeks, and then at the last couple of weeks.
Was that?
Yeah. Yeah, now they're done.
I got you.
I'm still down. I'm with you, though. It's like, and I know Brady's had his worst year of his career in the past few years, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, he's still number 12. He's still Tom Terrific, and you know that he's going to win a game.
That's still a top 4 scoring offense in the NFL.
I'm with you. Trust me, I know.
With all the problems with the Josh Gordon fiasco and all that, they're still a top 4 scoring offense.
And I mean, you know, it's I'm trying to think who the receiver is that all of a sudden he plays Cordell Patterson. All of a sudden, Cordell Patterson's turned into like a star again, or a star. How does that happen with that?
Other than the brief period of time that Randy Moss was there.
Yeah.
Well, what great wide receivers
Nobody.
Brady had? No. So the Josh Gordon loss, not that big of a deal.
No, I agree with you. In fact, when they had Randy Moss, it seemed I know they went undefeated until the Super Bowl, but I mean it's just like, oh my goodness, it's still Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, and it's just like, my goodness. I don't see. As far as the NFC, I do think the Saints go back. I just think they do. I know you're big Eagles. You're riding that Eagle bandwagon. I think the Saints are the only one that can beat them is the Cowboys. But I don't think they're going to play them. I think they lose to the Rams this week. So I'm going to go with the Saints and the Patriots.
You know, as a Cowboy fan, you should be rooting for the Eagles because
Oh, I know.
If far-fetched though it may be, the Cowboys were to beat the Rams, and then the Eagles beat the Saints, the Cowboys would host the NFC Championship game.
So as a big wrestling guy, and I know we're running out of time here real quick, if it does end up being the Saints and the Patriot, is it the winner leaves the NFL game? Because both Brady and Breeze are kind of towards the end of their careers.
Well, Brady just said 2 weeks ago he plans on coming back next year.
I know, but I'm just saying, I wonder. Anyway, we got to go. Thanks, Michael. It's been great having you. It's good seeing you again. It's been forever. Thanks, everyone, for watching. For Alden, for Michael, I'm Leroy Lucero. We'll see you next week on Red Menace TV. God bless you all.